and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you the no foundation makeup look. Now you're probably wondering, what do you mean no foundation? What product is out there that replaces foundation? Well, there is actually a trick that I use for those days that I don't want to wear foundation, but I want to wear something to, to look more freshen up, to look more awake, and to really even out my skin tone. Unfortunately, I do break out a lot. I do get a lot of red spots and red blemishes and all that great stuff. My skin is pretty much prone to zits, and a lot of the time I don't like to wear foundation, but I do like to go in with these two products. And at the end, I do look like I'm wearing foundation, but I'm not. In this video, you will see the two products, the first step that I go in, and then the second step as well. And honestly, try this strategy out, guys. I promise you, you will not be upset. I do have obviously other makeup on, but it looks like I'm wearing foundation, but I'm not. So if you're curious to see what two products I use to get like the no foundation makeup look, then keep on watching. Okay, so first things first, we're going to prime our face. Whether we're putting a lot of products on our face or just even a little bit, it's important to prepare your skin for the next step. I'm just going to go in with my usual e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer, and I'm just going to put a thin layer throughout my entire face. Okay, so the next step is putting on two different products. You might think it's a lot, but really, yeah, I mean, that's all it is. It's just two different products that you put on. You put a thin layer of each one, and that's about it. But you're probably wondering, okay, so what are the two products to help me look, to help even out my skin tone and make it look more awake and just more, ready for the day? These are the two products that I use to get the no foundation makeup look. The first one is my concealer by Maybelline, the Instant Age Rewind Dark Eraser Circle Concealer, and I do use it in the color Ivory. So I go in with this first. Basically, I conceal the different parts of my face. It's usually the different parts that I do all the time. I conceal my under eyes, the T-zone on my face, and wherever there are blemishes. So it's important to, wherever you think you have pimples or zits, red dots, red spots, or whatever, it's important to go in with your concealer and do some dots around it to cover it up. Next, once I have concealed my face, I like to go in with my favorite powder ever. It is the Studio Fix Finishing Powder by MAC, and I use it in the color NC20. So once I blend it out, the concealer all over my face, then I will go in and set my face with this powder. I absolutely love this powder. It's not too thick or too thin. It's perfect for days where you don't want to wear foundation, but you want to even out your skin tone, you want to cover up those red blemishes, and you just want to look ready and fresh throughout the day. This is definitely the powder to use. Like I said, it is the Studio Fix powder by MAC. You can get this at any local MAC store around you. And it's not that expensive either. I think it's about $20 or $30. I mean, if you're on a really tight budget, I'm sure you can find great ones at the drugstore, but I've been using this MAC one for years, and I can't, I love it so much. It just does it does the job so well, and I'm always happy with it. So we just primed our face, and the next step is to go in with the concealer. You can use any concealer you want. I'm using my Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline, because that's the current concealer that I'm using now when I do my makeup. And what you're going to do is you're just going to start concealing different parts of your face, usually the parts that you do on a normal basis when you're doing your makeup. If there's any extra areas, especially red spots, blemishes that you want to cover up, go ahead and do it with your concealer, because once we're done that, we're going to blend it out and make it more look more even toned. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I just pretty much look in the mirror and I start concealing different parts. I always go in with my under eye. That's the first step I'm going in. I'm going to put a little bit on my my eyelids, because I do have discoloration there. And now I'm just going to start going where I usually on the T-zone of my face. Okay, so once you've done your T-zone, or this is pretty much usually what I do when I'm on a regular basis with my makeup, and now I'm going to look for, you know, red spots or any kind of blemishes and cover them up. Okay, so once I feel that I'm ready, I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to just use my foundation brush. I just recently washed it, thank goodness. And I'm going to just blend it all out. Okay, so once you feel that you are done concealing your face, this is pretty much how it looks. I mean, it looks pretty evened out my skin tone. I've covered up my blemishes. I definitely covered up my under eye circles and a little bit on my eyelids because I do get discoloration there. And now I'm ready for the next step. Oh, now you're gonna go in with your powder, your finishing powder. This is the one I use by MAC. It's a Studio Fix powder and I use it in the color NC20. So now you're going to just set all the concealer that you put on your face. What I like to do is I like to use one of my foundation brushes. It is a foundation brush, but I don't use it to put on foundation. I actually use this to put my powder under my under eye area. Actually, I like to use this to set the concealer in my under eye area. And then I usually go in with a larger kabuki brush to set the rest of my face. And I'm going to take a little bit of the powder and put it on my eyelid as well because I did put concealer there and I want to make sure I set it so I don't have a lot of creasing happening. I like to now go in and conceal the rest of my face. Sorry, I like to set the rest of my face using my kabuki brush. I always use this one and I'm just going to, you know, get the product on the brush and just start setting the rest of my face. Okay, so I just finished putting powder on my face to set all the concealer that I put. And now I'm going to go do the rest of my face. I'm going to put a little bit more makeup, a little bit of eyeshadow, mascara, a little bit of something on my lips, and I will be right back. Alright guys, I just put on a little bit of makeup just to kind of finish the look. But yeah, this comes to the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Honestly, just by looking in the mirror, it looks like I'm wearing a little bit of foundation, but I'm not. Honestly, I'm only wearing two products, the concealer that we did for the first step and then the powder for the second step. These two go so well together. If you can find a good concealer and a really good powder that you think would go well together, try out this trick. If you don't feel like wearing foundation one day, but you still want to, you know, even out your skin tone, look freshen up, and look awake for the day, try out this strategy. Honestly, I think you're going to be very happy with it. There are a lot of days, I would have to say 90% of my time I don't wear makeup, 80 to 90% of the time. When I go out to a special occasion or out at night with some friends, I do like to put foundation on. But there are a lot of days where, you know, going to work or just running errands, I do break out a lot on my face, and a lot of the time I do like to cover it up and just, you know, look freshen up more and more awake, even out my skin tone. These are the steps that I take, and I absolutely love how it looks at the end. So don't feel like you have to wear foundation all the time. Just find your powder and your concealer. The first step, just conceal your face, the usual areas that you do all the time when you're doing your makeup, and then look for any kind of red spots or blemishes and cover those up with the concealer, and then go in with your powder. Basically you're setting your concealer with your powder, but I love the one that I use by MAC because it's a little bit thicker, so it does cover up, give you an extra coverage. It's not too much. It just gives you that little bit of extra coverage on your face. And yeah, I feel like it looks like I'm wearing foundation, but I'm not. Anyways guys, that is about it. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you learned something new today. And yeah, try it out if you want to. And that's about it. I will see you guys in my next video and talk to you later. Mwah! Bye guys.